I was overseeing the delivery of some slaves to the starport in Exios, and a cleaning robot had just washed the floor, but not left a warning sign. I had to run after a slave that was escaping, and I slipped and fractured my wrist. I was delayed for 10 whole minutes while the Medicomp repaired the damage. My time is billable. Can I get compensation?
Yes, you can.
I was on a regular trading run back to Sol, and it was my job to repaint the outside of the ship. I was given the wrong kind of EVA clamps. Nothing bad actually happened, but it did give me a fright. Can I get compensation?
Yes, you can.
I was checking some robots through customs when I distinctly heard an official call the robots clanks. I was deeply offended, even though I'm not a robot myself. That's their word. You're not allowed to use it. Can I claim for moral outrage?
Yes, you can. At Cowell and McGrath, we are now taking any kind of legal action. No case too small, no justification too frivolous. If you've been lightly inconvenienced, embarrassed, or in any way put out, then someone should be made to give you money. Don't be a stupid clank.
Excuse me?
Cowell and McGrath, taking on any case, playing the percentages.
Sweet dreams, little ones. You rest up in your hangar bay, because in the morning, you'll wake up to smell fresh laser fire, because you're in a Federal Corvette. And there's one thing that a core dynamic ship does well, and that's kill ships. Big ships, small ships, rings of ships. We even have a go at booping asteroids. Enemy shields down! Enemy dead! There's no further targets, Commander! That's all you'll ever have to say in a Federal Corvette. Core dynamics! Let's not talk about skimmers.
New from Azimuth Biotech, it's Tickle Me Thargoid. Tickle Me Thargoid is fun for all the family. Teach your little anti-Xeno commander the difference between an Orthrus and a Cyclops, a Basilisk and a Medusa.
Count the hearts. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a Cyclops.
Teach them their weakness and how to exploit them.
Now rip out the hearts. One by one. I don't want to.
Do it. Using the tool. Do it. Now stomp on its face. Smash its face in.
I've got them.
Tickle Me Thargoid. Available now from branches of Lave Toy Depot and other retailers.
It's time to fight. Hear everybody jumping. Dropship circle fast. Can't hear my heart a pumping. Frontline is the way. The ship floor opens up. It's time to lock a low. Game over, man. Wish me some luck. You every time. This combat's always back. Come take it home. Leader dealers calling grenades and rockets falling. Commanders, they do the skies. On this day I will die. On this day I will die. I will die. To catch up, come to destroy. I jump from every rooftop, my rockets are deployed. Call me the Dominator, a combat innovator. I'll be your liquidator, explosive detonator. Reload fast, hear the click, return to blast. Shields are reading magical, purple fire eating through you. On this day, all will die. Laser fires around, my shields can take a thumping. I'm running low on power, can't find a USB. I'm pressing buttons while the enemy runs over me. Panic starts, breath is loud, vision red, this ain't allowed. I think my pants are falling, apex I'm really calling. Shields are flying, grenades hit, on the fence something is hit. Command is into the sky, on this day I will die.
Lave Radio, transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite
and the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous,
and the fantastic
community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from the Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads. A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 566 of Lave Radio, the show that talks about the universe of Elite and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Whispering Commander Phoenix Defire, Chief Archivist of Lave Station, and joining me in the Orange Sidewinder bar for this episode, we have our Head of Health and Safety, that would be Commander Edelweiss, otherwise known as Ben.
Quiet. We're hunting wabbits.
I can't do that.
No, I'm being hunted. That's why I'm being very, very quiet. We also have our SRV Banksy, Commander Alec Turner.
Hello, everyone.
No!
And we also have our Staff Liaison Officer, the quite loud Commander Psychit.
I can't. I'm so ill. I can't do a measurable volume. I just want to say, minutes ago, the Chris Mark 4 went, can we make sure that the levels are all right? And now all of you bastards. All of you bastards started whispering, and I can only feel sorry for poor Chris.
Oh, he's a grown boy. He can handle it.
Oh, you're so mean.
He's supposed to be a professional. He should do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So if you wish, you can join us live. The aforementioned Chris Mark 4 is hanging out in the bar in open at Lave Station, so you can go join him as he panics with the levels. Otherwise, if you can't get to us in game, you can also join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live. Click on the live chat, or go straight to twitch.tv/laveradio, or you'll find us also on YouTube. So let us go around the crew, see what they've been up to. We'll start with a sickly Psychit. Sickly Psychit.
Sickly Psychit. That does alliterate. It's nice. I'm fine. My voice is a bit shot to shit, as you can hear, but it's been a week. Remember last week I talked about being 95% certain that my drive was the drive with all my my dump chest drive was all broken, and I was switching them out. Well, I switched them out on the Thursday. Turned my computer back on, and I will say, I sat in front of my computer after Lave last week, and I went, what if I'm wrong? Which is very unheard of for me, because normally I'm like blinkered and I'm like, well, 95% of me is right, so that should be enough. And I went, what if I'm wrong? So I copied everything from like all of my streaming assets and the stuff that like OBS pulls, and I copied all of that over onto the drive that I thought was broken. And it took hours because it kept crashing, and I was like, well, one of these drives is definitely on its way out. And it took hours and hours, and it kept crashing. And then when I switched the drive out, it turned out I was wrong, and it wasn't the dump drive that was broken. It was this the drive that had all of like my important assets on, and then transferring them all back took 3 minutes as opposed to the 3 hours that it took for getting them over. So a lesson in like, hey, don't automatically think that you're right with this, Claire, even if you've Googled to a degree that you're certain that you're correct. If there is an element of doubt, factor that in and use it. So I'm very glad that I use that. I had that element of doubt, and we've got like a caddy, and I'm gonna work on taking some of the stuff that it just kept crashing when I tried to transfer back onto it, which includes quite a lot of like videos that I'd been working on at the time. So I'm kind of in video limbo. But I'm also just so ill. I don't understand where this cold has come from. I can only assume that it's come from my husband, who insists on leaving the house. So yeah, I'm just super I'm super icky and poorly and those kind of things. But other than that, I'm good. I haven't played any Elite because, as previously discussed, we've been having I take January off pretty regularly from Elite, and it's a great thing to do. Highly recommend. Other people recommended from other people as well, apparently. But I'm still taking time off from Elite. I haven't really played a lot of games. I completed if you've played any of The Last Starship, I've completed the whole of the story up to the end of early access, which is really nice. It's a really good story, and it's a really fun game. I'm already thinking, I'll just start again then and play it through again because it's really good. It's really fun. They've done a really good job with it. And I tried Star Rupture, which has got too many jumpy spider type creatures that sort of skitter after you. And then somebody in my Discord recommended a different making things automation game called Alchemy Factory, which is a really fun automating stuff game. And it's kind of like you're making health potions and stuff and things for a fantasy city, and it's a really nice fantasy setting. And Chris and I have just been logging onto that for like an hour, and it's got a multiplayer, and we sort of, or like hours at a time, and we were playing our own games, but in the same sort of area and fulfilling orders and that kind of thing. Very, very automation, but without the scary spiders or anything like that to really mess with me. So I'm very much enjoying that. But aside from that, I'm good. I wish this cold would shift. Really do. But yeah, that's my week.
I know the feeling because I still have this slight cough that's stopping me. Just stopping me.
Just bloody lingers, doesn't it? Everything lingers, and it's
got a horrible, nasty tail to it. Right, Ben.
Yeah, I too have my cough. That has been around since before, since last year now. Although it's just a tickly cough and I can't shake the bloody thing, but I'll get there. I'm still on Distant Worlds 3 playing Don't Leave the Carrier Behind, which I very, very nearly did as we were getting ready for the show. But I made it, so that's okay. I had lots of fun on the World of Death. That was great fun. Loved that previous destination. And I'm looking forward to the next location. No idea what it looks like, but it sounds like a good historic venue, if you know what I mean. No idea if it's going to be as pretty or as crazy as the World of Death, but it sounds good.
Is it somewhere that you've been before then?
It's not. It's somewhere I've never been anywhere near before.
Ah, right.
And we should get there end of this week, I believe.
Cool.
So that that's really me for gameplay things. I've hardly even played any Expedition 33 since last week. I've just not had the time. But I did over the weekend mostly my son, but occasionally my daughter and I, we wound up doing a Men in Black marathon. Because my son was like, I want to watch Men in Black. So I'm trying to introduce them to. I'm aware these films were made a long time ago now, but they're actually quite good. Let's pick one and watch it. Trying to get them educated and things like that, and you don't have to watch a 30-second long TikTok video before you get bored. So that was hard for my daughter to understand, but hey. So yeah, we watched Men in Black, and my son loved it. And straight after that, he was like, "I want to watch Men in Black 2 now." I was like, "Well, okay, Mummy's still out, so we can watch Men in Black 2. Should be fine." And then straight after Men in Black 2, my son was like, "I need to watch Men in Black 3 now." And we got about 3/4 of the way through Men in Black 3 when Mum came home and was like, "Why the hell aren't you lot all in bed?" And then my son sort of like crept down. I was like, I'm not going to get a chance to watch this, so I was like, I'm going to finish this film. It might be 1 a.m, but I'm going to finish the film. And my son kind of crept down, hearing the film was still on. Like, don't tell Mum, but I want to finish this. So he was like covertly downstairs for another 15 minutes to watch the end of Men in Black 3. And we just pretend Men in Black International doesn't exist.
Actually, that's the one that I've still got to watch, actually.
You're not missing much.
Ah, fair enough.
I've never watched Wild Wild West, Chris. You're right. Is it worth it?
Yes, the film that Will Smith turned the Matrix down for.
Yes. Oh, sorry, we're getting words from the peanut barrier. Peanut barrier?
I heard
Peanut
that.
gallery.
I'd forgotten that he turned the Matrix down for Wild Wild West. What a choice! What a decision to make!
Oh, so yeah, that's been my life anyway.
Yeah, I don't think the Matrix would have been as good because it needed
100%.
I don't either.
100%.
I can't imagine
it's
it.
Not a comedy.
Actually.
I think he would have tried too hard to make it a comedy, or make it like give it funny elements, and it would have detracted from the message.
No, it really needed Keanu Reeves' wooden acting to really convey that.
I was going to say gravitas, but what would it?
Yeah. Okay, then we'll move on to Alec.
Hey, yeah. What have I done this week? I have learnt that solicitors charge £500 an hour. That's insane, isn't it?
What?
Do you know the weird thing is, like, I don't want to do it. It's a hard job. I hate it. It stresses me, all that kind of shit. So I want to pay somebody else to do it. I get it's a hard job, but looking after old people's a hard job. Getting up at 4 a.m. to take the bins out, collect people's bins is a hard job. I don't. It blows my mind. I can't.
Yes.
£500 an hour. It's.
Well, they charge it because they can.
Fucking ludicrous. Anyway,
you're also in London as well, so you know.
Yeah. Anyway, so I cancelled that appointment. We found someone cheaper, but balls to that. I went to see Hamnet, which I was curious about. I don't know.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Yeah,
if I'm
100%
brutally honest, there is far too much childbirth, child death, and general anguish for my liking.
Yep.
I kind of like my films a little bit jollier.
Yep. Agree.
Not even that. I like them more entertaining. Do you know what it was? A film has to be entertaining. It doesn't have to be happy or funny or action, but it does have to be entertaining, and I sort of wasn't entertained. Anyway, there you go. Enough of that. I wanted to shout out a quick thing. Thanks to Datanode, I think on Blue Sky, I just saw this amazing video today that he thought I would appreciate. Of 5 wingsuit athletes in Dubai. So there's the tallest hotel in the world. I think it's called something like the CL Dubai Marina or something. But it's got this kind of eye of the needle right at the top of it, a gap in it. 5 guys in wingsuits flew through that gap at 200 kilometers per hour. Fucking insane! I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it's funny.
Wingsuits are awesome.
Yeah, they are. But Jesus.
The first 10 people that flew them, they're all dead now. due to wingsuit.
It was
Excellent.
amazing. It's an amazing video. But anyway, right. So yeah, much like Ben in game, I've been on DW3. I'm having a blast. World of Death was super cool. I have been there once before. Well, we were going to shout out in Community Corner, but it's kind of too late now. But what's really cool is, for people that don't know briefly, World of Death is this planet that orbits a white dwarf at a really, really elliptical orbit. So it scoots past it really fast and really close and cuts through one of its cones. Cones, is that the word? What do they call them?
Yeah,
cones.
Cones.
Cones, and then it goes on a very long arm of the ellipse, most of which is inside the exclusion zone, and then it pops out of the exclusion zone, and you have this brief window when you can actually land on it before it goes into the other arm of the other cone. So there's this moment where you can go down, and so some guy just made this clock. It's a website, and it just basically has most of it in red and a little green bit, and it's like death or land now kind of thing. It's really good. So you can just watch the website, and it tells you when to land on it. It's great. So yeah, that was really cool. I really enjoyed landing there. There's been so much racing going on. It's been amazing. So I made this time trial, which loads of people had a go at. I was really surprised and chuffed. So many people gave it a shot, so I'm definitely going to keep doing that. It was funny, I saw a comment from VR 24/7 somewhere actually, where he was sort of saying that he was quite looking forward to taking a break from racing by going on Distant Worlds 3, and has ended up doing more than ever, which is hilarious. Yeah, they had 5 separate racing events on Sunday night, all at the same time, so you could sort of go and hop in and hop out of whichever one. I couldn't make any of them, but they looked amazing, like mountain climbs and all sorts. I did get filmed by Protocops, which I felt was a great honour. I was doing a run, and and Protocops was filming me.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that.
Yeah, so I
Look forward to seeing that video in Community Corner soon.
Yeah. I think he wants to capture loads of what's going on in Distant Worlds and then make a kind of compilation of it. I was saying before the show, but I've got this feeling like I've been kidnapped because I joined Distant Worlds thinking, well, I'm not convinced. I might do it for a week, and then if I get bored, I can just jump off and head back. But I just looked at the galaxy map today, and we are way past Sagittarius A already. It's like, oh shit, there's no going back from here. Yes, definitely feel like Distant Worlds 3 has kidnapped me and taken me to the far side of the galaxy. So I guess I'm committed now. Yeah.
You're my wife now.
Yeah. So it's great. Yeah, looking forward to the next waypoint. But yeah, good stuff.
How's your week been, Colin?
Well, apart from kicking the lurgy, arguing with accountants, or being told off by accountants rather, putting together a new printer, which actually worked first time, which was amazing.
Whoa!
Finding out that the cost of upgrading my computer to run Windows 11 would be astronomical, so I think I'll just pay Microsoft another 30 quid to stay on Windows 10 for the next year. And yeah, so that, and real life being real life. That's fair. And for someone who was complaining early in the week that, I need to give Elite a break, it's burning me out. I feel burnt out on it. I ended up getting really back into it this weekend, mostly by running undermining on foot missions for power play, which now that they've upgraded the people on it, the NPCs, is a little bit more difficult. And yeah, and I think I needed that little kick up the bottom in order to make it interesting again. So yeah, I've been doing that and enjoying it. So that's been good, and working, of course, on my couple of refineries that I'm working on my system. However, also to kind of get in to feel better with Ben, rather. Actually, that came out wrong. Let's move on. But to sympathise with Ben because of the turn-based combat in Expedition 33, I thought I would try Final Fantasy 13 again, because that's the last one that they did turn-based stuff on, and I found I absolutely hated it.
Oh no!
And Final Fantasy 13 is a big one to get into. It's a difficult one to get into. It's like so I went back to doing the Final Fantasy 7 remake again because they've just released a big update, thanks to it being released on the Switch. So I've been. But I seem to be back in this same circle of Elite as the main game, Final Fantasy as the other game. Yes, so yeah, that's been me this week. So, right, let's quickly go over the development news. What have the devs said this week? Well, there's only one thing that's come out this week, and that is the Type 11. It goes buy-in with in-game credits, so you can now. That's it. We now have the Type 11 in. It's only the Caspian that you pay for now. So, and the
Very
the
nicely
Dodo.
timed so that people on DW3 could hop off at Colonia and buy one before we carried on.
Is it?
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
It's cool, isn't it? Yeah, I like that.
I do like that nice bit of timing. So I haven't had a chance to actually catch up with how much it costs.
Oh, I haven't looked. I wonder if there's
80-something million.
We knew how much it costs, though, didn't we? From because if you paid for it, you could just buy another one. So I don't think that's new information. I'm just trying to see if I can see it on Coriolis or
201 million
something.
according to Etsy.
Well, now I'll go with that then.
Fair enough. 201 million.
That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. So, fair enough. Oh, no,
Chris is saying 67 million.
Yeah, 67 million.
Oh, hang on. I'm looking at the Caspian. Never mind.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. That's that solved. Well, 67 million for what it is 68 really.
It's
when
a
you
it's a
round it up.
it's a
Close to
fun little
69.
ship. Hey, nice.
Oh, that's the one thing. Yeah, power play. I reached level 69.
Nice. Oh, I was so excited when I hit 69, but I was doing like multiple things at the same time, and it skipped over so quick. I didn't have enough time to bask. It was a bad time.
So yes, we now have the Type 11. So for all your mining needs, and now everybody can find out what it's like to spaff.
Yes.
Oh, we are such children. Right,
Everyone now has the ability to spaff. Just typing over something. Don't mind me. We'll wait.
Oh, I can feel my parents rolling over in their graves at the moment. Right. I'll just hand over to Alec for the community news while I hide in the corner.
And then nothing decided to happen. Just talk amongst yourselves for a second.
And now, time for the community corner.
It'll edit out perfect in post.
Dead game, innit, mate? There you go.
Hi, welcome to this week's community news. Right. For item 1, I'm going to throw this straight back to Claire, actually, because although I had this on my list, Claire put it in, and I think it's highly appropriate.
Hey, it's okay to take a break from your favourite game by Loot and Grind. Not only myself, but other players do also take breaks from the video game, and it's okay to do so. I saw this, and I was just like, hey, sometimes I feel like I say stuff about taking breaks from Elite, and 90% of you clutch your pearls and you're like, oh, how could you ever? Like, I've been accused of boasting that I've taken time off Elite before, which is wild to me because it's an optional video game. But Loot and Grind puts it really, echoes that sentiment that, you know what, it's all right. It's all right to not play for a little while. At the moment, knock on wood, Elite's still going to be here when we get back. When you get back. So I really like taking off January, and Loot and Grind makes a really good case for it too.
Yeah,
I think it's fair enough. I mean, it's like, we've all heard of the 7-year itch and things like that, and this for 12 years. You know, it's okay to take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially at the moment, because this is the moment. This is what I call the dead time.
Yeah. every time we get to January and we're like, oh God, are we going to be able to do enough shows? And then, that can, you know what I mean?
A couple of years ago, will we ever make 500?
Yeah. Then you go and say, no, we're going to do this.
Episode 566. Maybe we should talk about closing the show again, and then they'll start doing. They'll give us a roadmap the following week.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Talking about taking a break, I've got a whole pile of Distant Worlds 3 videos. So there's so many. I mean, there's a whole channel of screenshots and videos in the Discord, but I picked out a few. There's a really nice video from Mr. Bish Bosh called Distant Worlds 3 Week 1 in Photos. I hope that suggests there's going to be more. In which he says, Distant Worlds 3 expedition started last Sunday with a mass launch and mass jump. These are some of the photos I've taken during the first week on the expedition. I left the fleet carriers and made my own way to the first stop. And it's just a lovely selection of screenshots with some nice music. But yeah, it's really nice. So hopefully we'll get more of those. Next one I threw in here is by Commander Regget, and it's called Very Close Arrival. I like it because it's something I've been trying to capture. So one of the things I was talking about before, where you can jump ahead of a fleet carrier and then be there for when it arrives. And unless I'm missing a trick, the problem is you don't know where it's going, where to point your camera. And I really like Very Close Arrival by Regget because by beautiful chance he was pointing his camera in the perfect direction to see this fleet carrier just arrive right next to him and sort of slide past, and it's magnificent.
Alec, for future reference, there are distortion effects.
Yeah,
you
you can very quickly change, but if you're setting yourself up, you literally don't know where to point it until it starts. Do you know?
Yeah, but I mean, as long as you get the distortion effects, you'll get there. Rotating time, hopefully.
Yeah, I need more practice. Luckily, it looks like I'm going to get loads. Next up is a video by Face Guy. Nice to see Face Guy back. Called Elite Dangerous Distant Worlds 3 Waypoint Monde de la Mort, World of the Dead. I'm proud to say I've been able to participate in the renowned Distant Worlds 3 expedition after so many years since DW2. After a few days of travelling on the fleet carrier Odysseus, along with thousands of other commanders, we take off to explore the world of death, a stunning yet deadly planet with one of the most breathtaking experiences I've had in Elite. And a very cool video from Face Guy of that. Again, there's hundreds of videos and screenshots doing the rounds, but that's a really nice one. And lastly, I shouted out, I think this last week, it's just another recommendation to subscribe to DiamondBot, because they seem to be doing a sort of regular, it's a thing called Elite Dangerous Dispatch. And it's a regular news update. So it's very short, it's just like a minute, a couple of minutes. And this week in Elite Dangerous Dispatch covers GeForce Now rolling out a very specific HOTAS support. Distant Worlds 3 in the World of Death, and the Lakon Type 11 is available for credits. So a very punchy, brief sort of news roundup of the week. So a good one to subscribe to. And that is me community corner for this week.
And if you have a community event taking place soon and you'd like to shout about it across the airways, tweet or blue sky the crew at Lave Radio, or email us at info@laveradio.com. But there's also a specific channel on our Discord for you to let us know what's going on. Otherwise, Alec will hunt you down, even though he's in another part of the galaxy. He'll manage it somehow.
I'll send me
So, right, we have the in-game events. What has happened this week? Well, this is bizarre.
It's weird, isn't it? What the hell?
Ventura transformation video goes viral. A health-conscious video recorded by HoloVids star William Big Bill Ventura, no relation to Commander Ventura from Lave Radio.
It's exactly the same person. I don't know what you're talking about.
Has gone viral on interstellar networks, sparking a wave of positivity.
I don't understand. This is okay. First and foremost, this is fucking amazing. But I don't understand, like, where it's come from. It's
The
so
tone
funny.
of it is like, what?
Yeah,
it's very random, isn't it?
This is, yeah, as I've pointed out before, this is the equivalent of Space Peter Kay getting ripped.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
So all the
Galacticus
speculation
runs again,
is
and
that,
for a few credits less makes me so happy. But
I guess all the speculation is that it's a forerunner to Radicoida.
it has to be
turning out to be a health supplement.
Oh, weight loss pill.
Yeah.
Or is it? Are we going to have people augments?
I think it might lead to a new suit.
Possibly.
A Medivac suit.
I'd love that. You know, I'd love that.
Me and the Burs were discussing this earlier.
Yeah, I've seen that sort of like dotted around as well, like in various different places, about it being that.
But yeah, all I've got in my head now is basically a whole load of commanders going around a concourse to the tune of "Give Me the Road to Armadillo."
It's such a tonal shift from anything else that we've had in a really long time, and I really like that.
Maybe we should get to Gozo to do a do a song that matches.
Or maybe here's another thought, because Jinx Effects has brought this up. Maybe it's just leading into one of Frontier's like minor updates for this time. Might be adjustments to the Hollow Me, and you might be able to do more with a Hollow Me potentially.
You mean we might get bulge sliders?
Well, no, I'm not saying we'll be able to choose what type of penis you have. However, what you might be able to do is like change your body shape, possibly, which would be kind of fun.
In other words, fat bastard mode. Yay!
Yeah, give yourself a bit of chonk. No wrong with a bit of chonk.
You grab onto it.
Oh dear! I just imagine all these people jumping around 0G with big thing. You'd be there thinking, right, pull.
You know what? I'm wanting the Withers Big Naturals mod right here.
I'm just combining this now with GTA 3 San Andreas.
I'm off to Jiggle Physics, my guy.
Sit in our spaceships and nothing else. You turn into a right fat bastard.
I want Jiggle Physics so that I can hike across the rainforests of planet Lave in support of ongoing conservation efforts.
That's it.
But I can only do that with the correct amount of Jiggle Physics.
Oh dear! Right. Well, how do we always get to Jiggle Physics? I don't know. Right. Let's talk about the Power Play rankings this week. In 12th, we have Senator Petraeus. He has lost minus 14 systems this week. His total has fallen to 636. In 11th, gaining a system, we have Torval, bringing her total up to 733. Delaney stays in 10th, gaining 4 systems, bringing his total up to 764. Winters also stays in 9th, having gained 5 systems, bringing her total up to 935. In 8th, we've got Antal, gaining 7 systems, bringing his total up to 1,131. And in 7th, Archer remains in, gains 2 systems and stays in 7th. So, yeah. In 6th, Kane gains, deep breath, 16 systems, bringing her total up to 1,212. And in 5th, we've got Grom, gaining 5 systems, bringing his total up to 1,364. Li Yongru, 13 new systems, bringing his total up to 1,524. With the Emperor in 3rd, gaining 6 systems, bringing her total up to 1,758. We have Mahan gaining just 3 systems, so he stays in 2nd place, surprisingly enough, with 1,843. But as usual, Princess Bathwater herself, 5 new systems, bringing her total up to 2,249. And that is your Power Play rankings this week. Yes. Now, there's a reason why Kane's doing so well, because she's actually really kicking it in the Enclave. She really is.
So what's the reason?
Yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion. Well, both Antal and Kane have been doing very well.
Right.
And I hate to say this, but I think let's just say the powers that are involved in the ceasefire, which I've now been told, oh no, the ceasefire is just there because people are away on distant worlds. You're right.
Right.
Yeah, they're not doing as well.
Kane's involved in the ceasefire.
Well, is she?
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen that.
Yeah, she is. She's the Kane system that was taken was the Kane system that was gained in the Enclave. Also, I should stress that this is only for the people who are in the Discords who are saying that there is a ceasefire and all of that. So if anybody's doing stuff outside of the Discord, they don't know. But or they're outside of the Discord and they're not listening to anyone and they're like, hey, we can do it for ourselves. Kane has gained one system, but that was a system that was contested. It wasn't, they've not taken it from anybody else.
No.
And the same with Antel, with they're gaining 2 systems.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing is I'm trying to work out where the Enclave starts and where it ends, because I do know that Orisa has 2 extra systems, but I think they must be out of range because they're not counted. So yeah, it's yeah. Yeah, just get my spelling right there, thank you. Right. So I guess that brings it to that time of the week again.
Store alert!
And welcome back. Well, as you can imagine, with the Type 11 going credits only, a lot of the pre-builds are currently 25% off. So, yay. Have your Type 11 and some extra stuff off too. So, yeah. Sorry about this, but have the any of the skins got the discount as well, or is it
literally
just...
what I was just checking?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah, they have. Yeah, I'm looking at them.
All right, well there you go. So yeah, Type 11 in the sale for obvious reasons.
Everything but Midnight Black, 25% off by the looks of it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Including the holo kits, so you can get yourself an ugly chevron holo kit in whichever color you want. No, I bought the pink when it first came out. I'm good.
I really like the yellow, the industrial yellow that it comes in. Unfortunately,
yeah, it is. It's a really they've made a rod for their own back by making this like really industrial alien. As in from the show, from the films. From that, it looks like that kind of ship, so it fits being yellow. So they made a rod for their own back by making cosmetics unnecessary in this particular instance.
It's funny, I don't know if anyone else has this thing, but I have this thing now where I have to remember which ships I want to wear the paint down and which ships I want to keep shiny. Like my chrome ones, I'd quite like to keep them pristine and shiny, but like my Type 11, I want to get the paint as worn down as possible.
Yeah, it's funny that. I mean, I do prefer the Prospector Red or the red one to go with the Type 11. I'm not a fan of the yellow.
No.
No, I'm not. Well, actually, let me put it this way: I prefer the red to the yellow. I still think the red yellow's good, but yeah, it's it's a bizarre one. It's still from certain angles looks like a mini Battlestar Galactica, but yeah. So yeah, before we go on to the main discussion, I thought we'd just get the mostly clueless out the way because it's going to be a long one.
Oh
So,
yeah, can I chip? Because that was
yep.
mine actually. I just the poor old DW3 organisers, like their Discord. There's an awful lot of channels and FAQs and infos and things, and there's thousands of people in there, and every day it's just like, where's the fleet carriers? When are the fleet carriers jumping? Where are the fleet carriers? Where are they going? Where are they? It's just all day. So my single best tip, and you can do this anywhere in the entire FleetCom Discord, in any channel you fancy, is if at any point you type /carriers and press return, a thing will pop up just for you. I believe nobody else sees it. And it will pop up a list of all 4 carriers, where they are, where they've been, where they're going, and when their next scheduled jump is. So anytime mid-conversation, or you're just thinking, oh, I wonder where the carriers are jumping, /carriers, press return. Job done. Best thing I've found in that Discord server.
I've actually, I learned something about Discord today as well, actually, Alec.
Yeah.
I don't know how long this has been in there for, but now at least you can right-click on a channel and mark it as a favourite.
Yeah, that's been a
that's
little while.
That's interesting.
Okay, I learned about it today.
And what does that actually? And what does that do?
It makes it a favourite and it puts it at the top of your list.
It puts it at the top. Interesting. Cool. 2 tips for the price of 1.
Another tip for Discord, especially for those. I know this is for those who are like organizing things, and I think this like makes a case for those of you who are organizing things who are in different time zones. Now, instead of having to look up what the relative time is and figure out what the thing is in the triangle brackets, I don't know what they're actually called, but in those, you can just type at time and it will do it for you. You can type at time and it will do a relative time for you. That's a new addition to Discord.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah, really handy. Really, really handy, especially for those of us with multinational people in different spots.
Oh, we would know.
Events do everything. And if you say an event starts at, say, 8 p.m., doesn't that get automatically translated to your time zone?
No. Well, what do you mean? If you do at time?
No, so you know how you can make events?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Oh, making an event will automatically change. But if you're just doing at time, it will be just a little thing. It's a bit like
they keep adding things and we don't know about them.
Yeah,
you get for not reading the manual, isn't it?
Yeah. Don't read the change notes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, well, we're going to take an ad break now, and then we'll come back with the humongous question of the week discussion.
We all know what it's like. You're busy managing your settlement when suddenly the alarms go off.
Oh no, not again.
That's right. A commander with a Federation naval rank of Admiral, an Imperial King no less, has landed in a ship worth over 100 million credits and is killing all your staff, while they look around for a 10 credit adhesive to glue an upgraded scope to their 100,000 credit assault rifle. They fly away with their super glue and you're left with a problem. How are you going to get your agricultural plant back up and running?
How am I going to get my plant up and running?
How are you going to find staff at short notice?
How am I going to find staff at short notice?
How are you going to deal with all those bodies?
There's bodies everywhere. And they've stained the carpet.
Wonder no longer. Call Aries Crime Scene Cleanup Services.
Hello, I'm Harry, from Harry's Mine. after a sudden increase in robberies and murders by commanders. Since 3307, I've gained valuable expertise in cleaning up bodies, recruiting new staff and restocking stationary lockers. Now you can benefit from my experience by signing up to our crime scene clean-up service subscription plan.
That's right. For only a small monthly fee, when your settlement alarms are activated, our rapid response cleanup crew will be dispatched, along with our patented Cadaver Scoop 150. The Cadaver Scoop 150 can be mounted to surface reconnaissance vehicles and skimmers to make tidying up your settlement a breeze.
Wow, the bodies are gone.
Our recruitment team has potential new employees on standby across the galaxy, ready to fill your vacant roles in security, logistics, administration, processing, and more.
My plant's operational again. Thanks, Ares Crime Scenes Cleanup Services.
Ares Crime Scene Cleanup Services. We'll have your settlement as good as new before the next ship arrives. Cadaver Scoop 150 disposal bags sold separately.
From the porcelain palace of People's Princess Aisling Duval comes a fragrance like no other.
Duval.
Infused with the steam of stardom and the bare essence of excellence.
Duval.
Eau de Bain is not just a scent, it's a statement.
Duval.
Crafted from the actual bathwater of Aisling Duval, this limited edition elixir captures notes of sapphire lotus, imperial sandalwood, and the untouchable aura of a true icon.
Duval.
Make your friends blue-haired with envy. Eau de Bain, a new fragrance by Aisling Duval.
Duval.
Take a dip.
Say there, Spacefarer. Has the universe been feeling a bit too large lately? Does the thought of witch space, solar storms, and looking into the endless void give you the jitters? Well then, have we got news for you. Introducing Lave's Nearby Worlds Expeditions, the sensible way to explore the cosmos. Why risk life and limb on some far-flung death planet when you can enjoy pleasant, nearby worlds, all within a short hop, a gentle skip, and with a very reassuring return ticket. That's right, no black holes, no killer plants, and absolutely no ancient unknowable beings who resent your existence. Each Nearby Worlds expedition is carefully curated for folks who like their adventure mild, their gravity predictable, and their oxygen exactly where it belongs. Every trip includes a complimentary safety briefing, emergency hot chocolate, and a soothing recorded message reminding you that everything is probably fine. So if you're curious about space, but not that curious, remember the name that explores with common sense trust. Nearby Worlds Expeditions. Travel to Lave 2 daily on one of our top 99.5% of liners.
Wow.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's what I made a call out for, like, a voice. And we had a few people come back and do voices, and that is Commander Howling Mad Murdoch, who got in touch with me, and we had a couple of people record stuff, but that was the one that we went for, and I hope you like it, pal. But yeah, I've got there's a couple of others that are right in the thing, so of the people who recorded stuff, we will get you on other stuff as well. But thank you, very much appreciated.
Excellent. Right. Well,
so appropriate.
Yeah.
Right. So we have the question then, Claire.
Hi. Yeah. So I think what we'll do with this is if we start with us and then move on to the answers that people have given, because there is some excellent stuff in here. Now, the question of the week this week is one that I've wanted to ask for flipping months. And it was based on someone who someone who said in Discord a little while ago, and also about the conversation that we had last week as well, I thought was kind of interesting around it, and there was always sort of like touches on this. But they said that they'd gone and done stuff in the CG, and they'd had some good PvP experiences, and then one gank. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. How are they defining what is an instance of good PvP and a gank? So. And this is months ago. I can't even stress this enough. And I reckon everyone who is here and everyone who listens to the show will probably have their own idea about what PvP is to them in the game. So I passed the question out on the question of the week. And the question specifically was to do with what in your opinion is the difference between good PvP and ganking or griefing, and what would you consider to be an example of like good PvP? And I'm interested from a standpoint of people who don't PvP and people who do PvP, because I think there is a really interesting distinction there as well.
Right. Okay then. This brings back memories.
Well, I know it's very likely that you've talked about it before, but I can say
we
yeah.
we have this. This is right. I'll get my little
Yeah, go for it.
This at the way first. I think that the state of PvP in the game and the state of griefing in this game is much better than it was.
Right. Okay.
Because way back when we had real problems with there wasn't anything there for newbie players to hide in or anything like that. It was just that they had huge amounts of gankers. Now I define a ganker as someone who goes and forces PvP on someone who doesn't want to PvP.
Right.
Okay, and that normally involves seal clubbing. So there'll be these big corvettes who will take out newbie sidewinders for the lols, which really used to wind me up because that's exactly what turned me off Jumpgate. Because you'd have all these people who would be just hanging around the starter stations blowing people up just because they could, and you don't get any reward for it. It's just the lols.
Yeah.
And back then we also had the Smiling Dog crew who invaded the Mobius group, which is the big PvE group, and was going around shooting down people while shouting Allahu Akbar, which really didn't go down very well at the time. So yeah, at the moment, I think people have got to come to the understanding that if you are flying in open, or if you are power playing in open, you are basically allowing yourself to PvP. You know that you're going to be a target. I think that's absolutely fine. Now that we've got the newbie areas for people to fly around with, where you've got bigger players can't come in and bully them, then it's in a much better place.
Yeah.
And I've found that the PvP that I've enjoyed the most has been with power play, and I know that there's a chance that my ship might get completely wiped out, but that's the risk that I'm taking when I'm playing it. So, yeah, at the moment, my opinion is griefing is inflicting PvP on someone who doesn't want to. Normally, people like that will be flying in either a private group or in private anyway.
Yeah.
But but if you're seal clubbing, that's what I call griefing. And but as far as piracy in open or full-on power play combat in open, absolutely fine with it.
Okay. What about you, Ben?
Yeah, I think I'm probably fairly aligned with Colin. I have had some genuinely awesome experiences in open, both of PvP and just bumping into random commander while we're out doing something, and then we shoot the shit for a few minutes before going off and doing our own thing. I know there have been times when, let's say, I've been in a naked boat caller flying into Shinrata Desrasay. And it's my own damn fault. I was in open and somebody will interdict me and, they're in a fully engineered Corvette or something. Yeah. An unshielded Type 9 stands no chance. But it's my own fault. And I accept that. And I don't get salty about it. If I wanted to, in Elite, if I wanted to play it safe, I could, as Colin was saying, just change into a private group or into solo or whatever. And I can just avoid the entire situation. I will say, I mean, like this morning I was seeing where we were in Distant Worlds, and or at least one of the gankers, fleet carriers, jumped in to Odysseus's system.
Yeah.
I was in the Fleetcom private group and felt relatively safe. But I wager certain gankers have probably still managed to infiltrate Fleetcom despite their best efforts. And I know that'll get dealt with. Frontier do come down relatively hard on people who, I should be in a safe place, and I'm in a safe place. You've broken that safe place's terms of service, and Frontier do enforce that to some extent. Obviously, there's no mechanics in game.
I feel like the onus is to report it to the people who own the private group, and then they can boot the people out of the private group. I don't feel like that's Frontier's position to uphold. Do you know what I mean?
I know. Yeah, I know. You can go and say, Commander Ganker McGankface. Ganked me in the Fleetcom private group. The guys can go and remove him from the private group. But I have heard of instances where Ganker McGankface then also has gotten further penalties.
Oh, okay.
Because they're doing things that they have said they're not going to do.
I don't know necessarily how much I agree with that, but
Yeah.
I think the problem with that one is, and they've had this with the Mobius group, is that the actual tools for maintaining that group is actually quite difficult to actually find Commander Ganking.
Oh yeah,
and get rid and kick them. So yeah, that's one of the main problems that I have with that is you've got to go through I don't know how many thousands of commanders just to find and kick the one that you want to get rid of.
Yeah, but I'm all for consensual PvP, and it's one of the things I love. If I'm not doing something, if I'm just flying around the galaxy doing my own thing, as it were, I love being in open for the random encounters, which can involve PvP. And because of that, it's very rare I'll fly around in a unengineered, unshielded ship, because I know the galaxy that I'm willingly putting myself in can be a harsh place, and those random encounters, if you're in the mindset for them, really can add a lot. And I like that.
Okay, cool.
If I don't want it, then I can avoid the whole situation.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Alec, what do you think?
Interesting. I think basically the definition of griefing comes down to what the intent is behind it. And the trouble is, as the recipient, you can't tell. So if a player is attacking another player because they get lulls from spoiling someone else's game, or it's like a how many ants can I pop today kind of thinking, and the player they've attacked is kind of inconsequential to them, then that's griefing. But the trouble is, if you're on the receiving end of that, it's very hard to tell. So for example, I think if there's a CG, if there's a trade CG, then it's perfectly fine in open for other players to attack you. It would be nice if they said aha in chat and gave you a chance to hand over a cargo. But even beyond that, I think you're kind of fair game and but if you're, it's hard to but and maybe if you're at Shinders, everyone that is at Shinders is supposed to be elite. So again, I think maybe you're sort of fair game. But I think if you're, at somewhere like, one of the engineer systems, and you're getting attacked with no role play, with no nothing, you're just getting popped, then that seems like griefing. And the other problem, I think, with elite, and I don't know if it's worse or better in other games, is that somebody in a really well engineered combat ship can wipe you out so quickly. It's like, it's embarrassing, and you barely know what happens. So even if it wasn't griefing, like even if you were carrying cargo in a CG, getting popped in like 2 seconds just feels pretty rotten,
Yeah.
I think. So I mean, that's the thing. It comes down to the intent, and it's a question of, can you gauge there's all sorts of valid reasons. I get that PvP players want some PvP, and they're looking for someone to fight back, and sometimes that can be good. And what really annoys me is sometimes, when you're really not looking for that sort of gameplay and somebody jumps you and blows you up, and it's really not what you wanted. And then you get a sort of GG in chat, and it's like, well, yeah, it might
Was
have been
it?
good for it might have been good for you.
Yeah.
It wasn't good for me. It would have been
Yeah,
nice if
yeah,
you'd asked.
exactly.
So yeah, so there's all that. And I don't entirely agree with Colin's definition about it. Um, you know, being, if you didn't want it, because like if you're hauling cargo, you don't want to be attacked by pirates, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's griefing either.
Oh, well, no, I
Do you
mean,
know what I mean, Colin? Like it's not
well,
as simple. It's not as black and white as saying, like, if you don't want.
yeah, but normally what happens in that case, if I was not wanting to have that kind of interaction, that's where the private and the solo
Yeah,
comes in.
yeah.
So, if I am in open, I am perfectly available for people to have a go if they want
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
I mean, I was,
And the one thing also I wanted to say about open, sorry, because I know we need to move on, but the one thing I wanted to say about open is, I think the argument is that if you're in open, then you're asking for it, kind of thing.
mm,
And I don't agree with that, because I think what open means is you're open to encounters with other players, but you're not kind of implicitly inviting attacks. I mean, they come with the territory, but I think the argument that, oh, if you don't like it, you should play in PG, I think it's not as simple as that, because there's more to open than inviting attack. Open is about bumping into. Ironically, having said all that, I've had more encounters in FleetCon PG than I've ever had in open. but that's
yeah.
neither here nor there.
I mean, Payne in the chat group, the chat window makes a very good point. One of the reasons why everyone gets a bit annoyed is because there's no way to get any recourse after you have been griefed. There used to be a way that you could. I remember in the alpha that as soon as you got a bounty, other players would be after you to get that bounty, or the kudos for getting rid of the naughty player. The thing was that they've never provided tools good enough for you to track down wanted players.
Well, they can just. I mean, I remember Isanoni used to try and do that. Used to try and chase down people with bounties, but it's a big galaxy, and it's a 24-hour clock, and they might not be in open, and so there's like it's a 1 in 1,000 chance of finding anyone.
Yeah, like it.
Okay, so I again, I thought long and hard about this because it's not something that I'm super familiar with, because it's not something that I actively choose to do. Reason being, it's like one of the I used to fly pretty much. This is before I started streaming. I used to fly pretty exclusively in open, because I was like, I'm never going to run into anyone anyway. And I was very, very early on. I think I was just doing random missions to get my get my rank up with something. I think I was in either a Python or an Asp Explorer. It was one of the two, and I was flying around, and I got interdicted in one system, and I instantly like throttled down and went to throttle back up again. Got back into the system, continuing on my way to go and deposit my stuff that I had, and then got interdicted instantly again, and then exploded. And I was chatting to, I think probably Kremen or Chris about this. I mean, like, I don't understand what just happened, because I've got shields on. I should have just been able to sort of get away and do stuff. And they went, was there hollow squares on your map? This is so early on. And you fuck all about this. And I was like, I don't remember any of this. And then I reopened like local chat, and I saw messages that had come in on local chat saying, you're in this system and you shouldn't be in this system. If you stay in this system, we're going to kill you. And I was like, A, the fuck, and B, this is wild. And Kremen just went, join the PG, just play in the PG, and you'll be fine. And to be honest, I never looked back, and I just play pretty exclusively in PG now. Sometimes when I'm streaming, I will switch to solo not for, like, if we're following the trail of something, and it's not just like interdictions in that way, it's just I don't want people interrupting like my content with them being there to just sort of like disorient me, or it's effectively stream sniping, that kind of thing, but not in a way where it's killing you. It just like, it will take my concentration away, and that I'm a big snowflake when it comes to shit like this. I'm not good at PvP. My hands don't work. I don't have the time to invest to become good at PvP, and I don't see why I should, because the game itself gives me the modes to not do that, and to not have to engage in that area. If you want to engage in that area, fair play to you. I have a problem with people who say, like, if you're doing BGS or anything that affects the game, you should be doing it in open, because, spoiler alert, everything that you do in the game, if you turn that in, it will affect the BGS in some way. So whatever you do, even if it's intent or without intent, you're going to have an issue in the game. It's going to do something to some element of the BGS. So does that mean that everybody has to fly open? And if people still think that the game should be open only, the prime opportunity for Frontier to do that was when they did the overhaul on power play, and you'll note that the 3 modes still exist. So I really don't think that that's an argument anymore. I know that's slightly outside of the argument. A definition of good PvP for me is when we've organised on foot PvP fun and shenanigans in the private group, and we've all sort of like picked a different side and piled on and tried to kill each other. That was great PvP, and I'd love to do that again. But ship stuff, not for me. I'm good, thank you.
Excellent.
But that's about it. That's about it. But we also passed the question on to you guys, and with exactly the same question. What's the difference between good PvP and ganking or griefing, and what would you consider good PvP? We asked these on a Sunday on Twitter, on Blue Sky, and on Discord. And this week we actually had answers on all platforms, and some of these are long, so buckle in, folks. Alec, do you want to get us started, please?
Let's go. Greg Brent on Twitter says, PvP in Elite feels a lot like chess. It's a solved game, and there's no ELO to keep a less experienced player from wandering into the gun sights of a grandmaster. Private for life. I'm guessing we're not talking Electric Light Orchestra, so can somebody tell me what ELO means?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's something to do with chess.
I have no idea either. Chat, help.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going with Electric Light Orchestra. Colin?
Okay, so right. Good PvP equals open. Now this is from Hey Spooky Boogie on X Twitter. In Elite, you don't have to choose between multiplayer / community goals and PvP. If you play in open, you accept the risk. But that's for combat. Repeatedly going after the same combat after same player after respawn, ramming ships because they can afford the rebuy, etc. That's at least petty.
I've got an answer for you on ELO, Alec.
Yep.
It's to do with chess. It's a method for calculating the relative skill levels of players, originally designed for rating chess players.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
a handicapping mechanism.
Skill-based matchmaking.
Yeah. Cool.
Tartan Hopper on Twitter says, good PvP is at a minimum motivated by in-game logic. You're a pirate in a CZ on a power mission or for a BGS faction, not randomly killing people. Otherwise, between PvP capable players, not against unequipped ships and beginner pilots.
Yeah, basically seal clubbing that.
Yeah.
Right. Norris Mobster on Blue Sky saying, got interdicted while hauling on the recent CG. Stripped my shields and took out my thrusters in about 5 seconds, then launched limpets. I dumped some cargo and was able to reboot repair while he collected his goodies. I was then able to get away. A good PvP pirate.
I really like the idea of that experience.
Yeah, there was a player group called The Code that used to do that, and you had to get used to the fact that when you got pirate and you lost a fight, as long as you shut your stuff down, you normally had actually quite a good roleplay experience, to be honest. And they would always warn you. They always gave a warning. So that I think that's one thing that I do feel that they're missing in Elite is to issue I'm going to drop your shields and
Yar!
Yeah, exactly. Stand and deliver. You need to send a stand and deliver message.
I think we touched on this last week, but it's perfectly possible to get a keybind or something to paste in a hand over your cargo message, because I know it's difficult to type and in the flurry of activity, but yeah, it's pretty easy, I'd have thought. It's me. Via the Dragon on Blue Sky says, interdicting traders that are minding their own business just to kill them and not even doing piracy is politely annoying and a dick move, as some ancient scholars may say.
Yeah, that is a good comparison there. I have Daedalus on.
But haven't you just said that if people are trading and they're in open, they should be prepared for interdiction?
I personally think so. Yes, I think it's yes. It is hard to make a case for what it is that the attackers are doing, if not pirating. But maybe they're salvaging your stuff after you've blown up. Because when you blow up, So who's to say?
Yeah, and I think, and again, I'm not trying to be an arse with this. I just think it's really interesting to look at how different people's opinions are about what constitutes this and what is and what doesn't.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it really is.
Why did I get this one?
Colin, I literally just went through. I did it in order.
Daedalus on Blue Sky. This post is brought to you by Swiss Tony from the Fast Show. Good PvP is rather like making love to a beautiful lady. It should be consensual and fun for all involved. Might be more fun with a little roleplay. If it takes a couple of blasts from your anaconda, then it's no more fun for me. P.S. Sorry. My wife just walked past me right at that moment.
Perfect moment, perfect timing.
Oh dear. Seriously though, gankers don't understand consent, and playing against some people is like playing a table tennis tournament against the Williams sisters. A table tennis tournament? What do I mean?
There was no table in there. You invented a table.
I'd give it a go.
It's just saying more about Colin again, isn't it?
So right, I'd give it a go. I wouldn't have a chance, and it wouldn't be fun. Yeah. Again, this is more like it's more like seal clubbing here, isn't it?
It's difficult to I'm this is fascinating for me. Supreme Morpheus on Discord says, IMO ganking is random. It's being pulled and attacked for no reason. For no rhyme or reason beyond a desire for blood. Power play kills, hunting a bounty, piracy, if it's actual piracy, and contract kills aren't ganking. They're good PvP, particularly power play. If you sign up for power play, you should know what you're getting into. Worth noting that despite playing exclusively in open, I don't actively do PvP.
Fair enough.
Right,
Fair enough.
I think I've got the first wall of text.
It's not a wall, it's fine.
It's a minor wall.
Oh wow.
Right. Papery on Discord is saying, it's not the question. Sorry, it's not in the question, but I feel like giving background information is useful. I play in open exclusively for my power play, as Federal Unites Command ruling demands, and I'm an avid PvP player. I find beauty in the quest to get better at flying in Elite. Ganking equals PvP. People just need to accept that the aggressor's reasons don't matter, and you need to be in a ship designed to withstand PvP. It's no different than NPC interdictions. It's a part of the game. After having an open ready build and evasion training, playing competitively in solo is admitting you don't have the skill and or you didn't do engineering, which essentially amounts to cheating the people that you are competing against. The better terms to replace ganking, griefing, or consensually PvP are organised and organic. One is planned, the other is not. Both are fine. Drawing a line anywhere is arbitrary and will always cause tensions. The game systems are meant to be played in open. It gives more gameplay opportunities for everyone. Now we're just fighting invisible ghosts as a spreadsheet game. There's absolutely no way to counteract anything happening in systems. I could still go a long way on the subject, and thank you for taking the time to have the conversation.
I have so many thoughts.
It's good though. There's
Yeah.
some good stuff.
Yeah,
there.
I don't disagree with what they're saying.
I disagree with some of it, but
I disagree with a lot of it.
I like the fact of I like the organised and the consensual stuff, or the organic.
Organised and organic. That
Yeah,
I
organic.
think
Yeah, I
I
love
think what
that
you
kind
have
of
to
thing.
remember is one thing about this post is that I think they're thinking about a lot of the gameplay about that everyone is doing about being BGS or power play, and a lot of this makes sense in that context. You know that if you're doing BGS or you're trying to, you know that in a sense the galaxy is a dangerous place, and you. But again, that's the intent. If the person attacking you is attacking you because they believe you to be running BGS missions against their faction, that's one thing. But if you're an explorer or you're just out with a bunch of mates enjoying flying spaceships, you know, you have to include that as well. And you know, there's a lot of talk of sort of us versus them, but there is no us versus them if you're not doing power play or BGS.
Yeah, and I would argue that Papari here says there's no way to combat someone who's doing BGS like against you if they're doing it in private group, and there absolutely is. It's just not the way that they want to play. And how is that different from if someone's doing BGS in private and you can't kill them because they don't want to engage in your preferred manner of playing? How is that different from you then having to do a different do their preferred manner of playing so that you can combat them? Do you see what I mean? What I mean with that?
What you mean. Yeah.
I mean, I agree that if you're doing, let's say you're doing BGS, you defeat them using the BGS mechanics.
Yeah.
Not by shooting them with your lasers.
Yeah. And there is, if you are on the upside and someone is on the downside and you are working on and you're winning, it becomes, and this is an entirely different topic around the BGS, but it becomes entirely so much easier for someone who is on the losing side to make life harder for you. Believe me, I have first-hand experience of that. And Poper Rap says very, very excellently in chat right now, you don't have to fight an enemy on their winning terms, which I think is an excellent, excellent way to put that. And the other thing that Paparu says about the game systems are being meant to be played in open is, I would refer you to my earlier comment saying, if they were, why are the other two game modes in game available?
Yeah, well, there is a as I've seen later, there is an opinion amongst people who do this kind of gameplay that they're always complaining there aren't enough players for them to attack, and you're there thinking, well, that's because those kind of players don't want to get involved in that kind of gameplay, and you cannot complain about that. They don't want to play with you.
Yeah.
Right. Polarium on Discord says, as soon as you hit open play, you're consenting to being shot, / losing your ship in whatever way possible. It is your responsibility to outfit your ship in whatever way is necessary to survive whatever PvP may come your way, whether that be through ganking or any other miscellaneous way of PvP. There is no line between good and bad PvP. Prepared or not, you're still engaging in PvP when you get ganked, and you consented to that when you entered open. I've been PvPing for over a year and a half at this point, and the dynamics of it are a point of contention even in PvP circles.
Oh yeah, I mean, we've said this before. I mean, there's a reason why the other two groups exist.
Yeah.
Right. Right, we've got Gian Garin.
Gino Garin.
Gino Garin. Genon. Rhymes with neon, right?
Yeah, that, absolutely.
As a self-styled and quite accomplished ganker in Elite Dangerous, I feel we need to get some definitions down, given I've killed wanted power play enemy in my power play space and was still accused of killing them for no reason. To be honest, that is a perfectly valid reason. I would have gone after them myself. So, yes. Good PvP, also known as either organized or organic PvP, is a direct fight between two or more commanders who want to fight each other under given rules and planning. In other words, organized or not organic. Ganking, the definition. The defending commander is not prepared to engage the attacking commander in a fight, either emotionally, just don't want to, structurally, distinctly unfair matchup, or any other reason. This still gives the defending commander decent odds of escaping the attacker and therefore winning the engagement by denying the attacker their goal of destroying the defender. But many commanders fail to escape by in-game failure of action. By my reckoning, many commanders have enjoyed these interactions as they are playing in a horror game, and the cutthroat galaxy that FDev advertises would be lesser without the occasional murder hobo mixing things up in completely optional open mode that offers additional player interaction. Right. Griefing. Preventing a player from playing the game. This can be accomplished by repeat and targeted ganking, or by other means of doxing and harassing. None of this is acceptable and should always be against the rules. But there also needs to be a clear line in the rules about what is and what is not acceptable. With game systems like the BGS, is it griefing to heavily target someone's minor faction to reduce them to near zero? I would say no. That's being an antagonist. But it does not prevent someone from playing at all. But other players would say yes, because it's repeated targeting of an in-game element that a player may associate themselves with. Elite Dangerous is unique. Unlike EVE Online or Star Citizen, players can choose open, the non-PvP modes whenever they want. Therefore, their exposure to PvP and ganking is up to them. And yes, that's...
I think that's perfectly put. In my opinion, I would agree.
Yeah, it's a really good post.
Completely.
Okay, Chicken Cow God on everyone's on Discord from now on. Chicken Cow God says, as a power player, PvP is awesome. most of the time. Thankfully, most powers have decent etiquette for when it comes to PvP, like not using engineering that makes PvP suck, making encounters very fun. Some of my favourite encounters have even been while doing Odyssey work, being hunted down by players in ships while I'm on foot. However, this is obviously good PvP. For the rest, I'm mostly ambivalent to ganking. It's whatever. Most people are placed to a power anyway, so the rebuy is free, so who cares? My only gripes have been getting ganked while holding a 4 billion credit voucher because I wasn't paying attention. I was paid well by my power, but that really stung. For the most part, if you get ganked and die, it's your own fault. You can always build your ship to be tankier or be more strategic about dodging your enemies. And most importantly, pay attention to your radar for fuck's sake. The only PvP I find sucky is stuff like seal clubbing, ganking new players who just started engineering, or using the annoying engineering mods like drag munitions. On the other hand, it's not like I've experienced this much anyways, so it's not really like I care. Again, very, very interesting. Very interesting. I'm fascinated by this. Genuinely am.
Yeah.
Buddy Cole, who is also on Discord.
I'm just going to remove all of the on Discord.
I can't see the screen now. I'm too busy laughing. I think what separates ganking from piracy or other forms of PvP is simply the intent or spirit, and how the interaction makes the participants feel. If you're out seal clubbing novice commanders and it makes you happy inside, then go right ahead and have your fun. It'll probably wreck that new player's play session, and ultimately is probably detrimental to the growth of the game and the number of commanders who play in open. But hey, maybe that newbie becomes a ganker themselves and enjoys that community instead of mine. In my elite, gankers are treated similar to how I would treat a reaver. Identify, avoid, evade. And if those fail you, accept your fate and go down swinging. I know when I've been doing things in open, deliberately, etc. Even if I'm in, let's say I was in my Caspian Explorer, that I'm in at the moment. It is not a combat vessel.
Yeah.
But I do have shields. I do have some beam lasers, and I do have some multi-cannons. I am well aware that these would do nothing against a well-engineered combat ship. But I can at least own it, I guess.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I hear you, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there are techniques that you can use to escape.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
You do need a bit of shield, like obviously the techniques of sort of an FA off and a flip and boost past them and target a system and do a high wake. It's very effective, but it's not like they have zero time on target. So if they're well engineered and you've got weak shields, that may not be possible. Even if you do it, even if you execute it perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, let's say you're in a Anaconda or something that just moves like a brick.
And what I'm struggling with, I'm trying to think whether I'm right or wrong with this, but what I'm struggling with is that I should, if I'm in open, that I should have to accept that even though combat is not my thing, and I'm racing or trading or colonizing or exploring or sightseeing, any of those things, that I should still have to think about the combat side when building my ship and put decent
I get you,
shields on
Alec.
it. And I feel like I'm being made to play a game that isn't my chosen game.
Okay, so here's a question, Alec.
And I don't feel like I need not to be an open to play my chosen game. So yeah, that's where I'm struggling a little bit with.
Would you consider evading an attack attempt?
Oh yeah, I will do.
You're in a racing
I think I've
ship.
got a chance. Yeah, I mean, racing ships are great because I can outrun them normally.
Yeah, I mean that I suspect could be quite engaging gameplay.
Yeah, no, that's great. If you've got a really fast ship, that's great. But I don't
Yeah.
tend to. It's. I suppose it's more like the colonizing, or where I'm in a big ship and I'm carrying cargo, and I'll have shields for collisions, and that's about it. So I'll have weak ass shields, no point defense, no hull reinforcements, no module reinforcements, and frankly, I'm probably a sitting duck if I get attacked. And
Yeah, I think one of the reasons that that I do have a problem with what you're actually doing there, Alec, is because in the previous Elite games, you had been eaten if you'd flown a ship
Yeah.
like that, you would have
maybe
been
that's
eaten
it.
alive
Maybe
by the
that's it. Maybe
NPCs.
maybe if the NPCs were tougher, I would. Yeah, I would accept that that I can't just swan around in a. Yeah, it's a good point.
Because that's one of the things I really wanted in the old version of Power Play was that if you were carrying Power Play materials, it wouldn't matter whether or not you're an open, private, or a solo. The NPCs would come after you a lot more, which is
Yeah.
what I wanted in this version
Well,
of Power Play. But
what I'll just qualify that with, Colin, actually, and we've talked on this in the show, and something I really miss is that the original Elite, there was also the idea of going to dangerous places and not dangerous places. So if you went to an anarchy system, you knew you were in trouble.
Yeah.
And you had to be on your guard. Now that's not true of Elite Dangerous.
No, it's not
So
dangerous at all.
it's not like I can be in open and stay away from dangerous places where I'm going to get ganked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't get to make that choice.
I think
Everywhere
this is
is
something.
the same.
I think this is something that both Colin and I have both been asking for since the release of the game is make Reedquat dangerous again.
I would love dangerous places where the profits were
Yeah.
higher and there was a
Yeah.
real like.
And like
People always phrase this like it's a choice between playing solo or open, and I would much rather it was a choice between going to dangerous places.
yeah,
high
rooting
sec-
yourself
low sec
away
kind of
from
thing.
dangerous places. So
Yeah.
if there's an option, like when you're planning a journey or something like that, or you're planning a route, if it's known to be like a danger hotspot, I don't know what you can route around it if you don't want to interact with that kind of thing, and that's where you can expect. And I
then,
mean,
frankly, if I jumped into an anarchy and got instantly ganked and killed in 2 seconds flat, I'd be like, well, that's on me.
yeah,
fair
yeah.
enough.
I think
shouldn't have
that's
gone there.
yeah. I feel like that is the answer to like the and I want to play in open, but I don't want to get ganked.
Whereas
kind of
I
argument.
don't feel like fair enough. I shouldn't have played an open.
Yeah, and I
That
think
doesn't feel right.
but I think that's like the midpoint. That not the midpoint, but that's kind of the solution that we're presented with currently.
Yeah,
is you're an open, and that's the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
I mean,
fun.
does
really
anyone
fun.
feel worried about facing off against a couple of NPCs?
Depends on the NPCs and what ship I'm in.
Yeah.
Did we just do Buddy Cole, or have I deleted the name by mistake?
I thought we had. Yeah,
yeah, we did.
Yeah,
the
Ben said
Reaver-
it set your
Reaver
fate
thing.
and go down swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the idea of treating griefers like reavers. That's a good bit of that works for my head canon. Anyway, onwards. Chibsville. PvP is part of the game in more than ship versus ship. For the ship combat part, I think it's good when you get some interaction with the other player. I'll usually give some insult in the local chat, in character, about their power play faction, or ship choice, etc., before I run away easily or fight, usually getting blown up for my trouble. I've done pirating at CGs a few times, and it can be fun to open with an ultimatum to drop cargo, then use limpets and grom bombs. Most of my victims are usually surprised to see an ASP scout as a pirate nowadays. I'm not often successful, but when I am, it's fun. I don't think mindless seal clubbing is good. It's annoying to be on the receiving end, but it does encourage you to build a better ship for next time. You can always hide in solo if you really want to get to that CG and not wait in a queue for hours at the dock. I don't think it's good PvP to moan for hours in system chat when you do get ganked. At a CG, there are usually loads of anti-gankers around. The other PvP is the BGS and power play. My experience of that is that big groups do prey on the smaller ones all the time, a bit like seal clubbing, and there is nothing much the little groups can do apart from move to another part of the galaxy. It's all part of the game, though. I still think the game is ace.
Don't think that last bit is. My personal experience of the BGS has not been like that. Like a single person can fuck up some of these BGFs if they really want to.
Yeah, we did touch on that earlier, though.
Yeah.
That attacking someone in PvP is. Oh, it was Gino, wasn't it? Had made a good point about picking on someone repeatedly by hammering at their BGS system. So yeah.
Well, I had one commander hammer onto my faction's BGS because of one thing that one of the commanders in my faction did. Hammered on for 2 years, and we didn't get into expansion once because you have to hold 75%. We didn't get into expansion once for 2 years, and we just stopped BGSing. We just stopped BGSing for that 2 years, and then when they stop, we're now fucking everywhere. And colonization, we are everywhere. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that 2 years was great for them, but I just stopped engaging in it, and it was fine. Or we did, or the BGS that we did was taking over. There's approximately 1 million stations in our system, so we just did that instead and took over like the predominant amount of those stations in the system, and that was lovely fun at the time. And then we just stopped doing it and stopped caring, and then colonization came in, and now we're everywhere. So there was more things to do in the game, but it was at the time it was frustrating. I've been on the tail end of that. I wouldn't necessarily call it griefing. I did refer to them having a very small peen, but it's not exactly griefing, in my opinion.
Right, I've got Commander Nikon. Let me first say I suck at PvP. PvE, I can rock it all day, but when it comes to PvP, I'm everybody's cream puff. I'm not quite so sure what that is. I still love that is an aspect of the game, and I think is a very important element of gameplay. You almost can't beat that sudden rush of adrenaline when you get interdicted, and the elation when you manage to dodge it, and you will really appreciate that dopamine hit after you experience the pain of losing millions in exploration data to a ganker. The good news is, if you can't handle the heat or you don't want to risk your exploration data, you can play in solo and group instances. Now, to answer the question, gankers, just out to see other ships go boom. Pirates are people who want a bit of role play, and that's great. Griefers, well, we call that camping in FPS games, don't we? Sure, it sucks when that sniper is waiting for you to pop your head out, but then you just got to go get good, or just goes to a solo instance. I think I'm applying for the morality of good or bad is really the wrong kind of label for any of these activities. Maybe with the caveat of maybe they should keep out of the newbie zones.
Yeah.
Which they do, because they can't get in there anymore. But trust me, when those newbie zones weren't there, the amount of people that used to hang around the starter system.
Yeah, that's true.
It was awful. In fact, I do remember there was a player group that was particularly started in order to protect the newbies, and I can't remember what they were.
The state of the game is a lot better than it used to. I mean, I think that
yes,
most of the PvP is good PvP actually, and I think it feels a lot.
I also think that
than it used to.
I feel like if we'd asked this question like 5 years, no, not 5 years ago, let's say even 3 years ago, I think the answers would have been incredibly different as well.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. It's always an evolving topic. Rocky Star says the line for me is when the only good reason they can offer is because it's called Elite Dangerous. Killing you for power play merits or your bounty are rewarded by the game. CZs are the perfect place for organic PvP. Piracy and an opposing CG are valid role-playing game loops, but when there is no gain and no danger for the one who initiates it, other than to ruin someone else's day, that's when good PvP becomes griefing. Good shout, Rocky.
No.
Good shout.
The Jinx effect. I don't engage with PvP other than running away, so my opinion is coming from this perspective. Elite Dangerous is an MMO space sim / action game. Different players find different elements appealing. shooting a commander on sight and open for no other reason than because I'm a murder hobo is valid gameplay. So are we still automatically hobos since the Trailblazers update? That said, taking out new or significantly weaker opponents with a massive disparity in your respective ship's gear is I'm not allowed to call it a dick move because Psychic said be nice and not derogatory.
I did put that on Discord. I didn't put it on Twitter or Blue Sky. My bad. I had more characters in Discord. What can I say?
If the disparity is hugely in your favor, I'd consider this ganking. I've been one-shot killed before when exploring a Guardian Ruin for Ramtar. It wasn't fun for me, and I doubt the other commander found it challenging. I guess they must have found it engaging, though, because they'd apparently been there for hours doing it. Griefing, I'd say, crosses a different line. That's probably more dependent on the victim's experience. Have they been harassed or victimized by a particular group or commander? Or have they been caused significant inconvenience / setback? If so, was this the result of another player's actions that they weren't in legitimate competition with, or as a result ganking activity? This is probably griefing, and this definition includes, for example, system sniping and colonization, or the old fifth column activities we've seen in the past. It doesn't include what happened to me at the Guardian site, because I wasn't inconvenienced or set back much. I had plenty to cover the rebuy, and I didn't lose any data. I respawned a few jumps away, shrugged it off, switched back to a private group before going back. Page down. And I find my right thing. I personally think just as attacking indiscriminately in open is valid gameplay, so is playing in a private group or solo, if that's not your cup of tea. It would be nice to have 2 open instances, PvP and non-PvP, friendly fire off, as PGs have a member limit. Sorry for the long post. Here's a potato. Thank you.
Thanks, Jinx, for the potato. Appreciate you.
Right. Okay. I have nicey. I will preface this with a heavy "in my opinion" in all capital letters. The difference between PvP and ganking is who is having fun. If both people are having fun, that's PvP. If one person is not, that's ganking. What I think many people would consider ganking is getting pulled, usually in a high traffic system, and getting near immediately blown up. No chance of retaliation or even putting your mug down. You have to haul with a nice mug of something, of course.
Mug.
Whereas good PvP is where both people actually have a chance to win the fight, or at least make a dent in each other's person's shields, hull, or ego. I don't partake in PvP because I'm not that good of a shot. Apparently trash talking and strong glares don't work on ships. Shame, really. It's a shame that the risk of ganking, however big or small you perceive it to be, has put many people off open play. I don't envy EFTA for having the task of fixing it if they even want to or even can. Goodness, that's long. Whoopsie.
It's not that long, nice. Are you all right?
No, you're fine. The one thing that I would say about that, I would also say escaping from a PvP encounter is just as good as actually winning one. It all depends on what you consider to be the win. To me, when I was hauling stuff in power play and I got interdicted by another player, my objective was not to destroy the other player, it was just to get away from it. That to me is a PvP encounter that, because we were both, we were using the word consent a lot here, but because I got away from him or them, then, I still enjoyed that. They came back, I think, 3 times and got me on the 5th, but yes, but it was still an enjoyable experience. But I can understand the other side of it as well. Right, that's me done.
Yeah, interesting. Phoenix Blue says, any PvP that is fun is good PvP in my view. That can include ganking and being ganked. The trick for me is expectation management. Anytime I sign into open play, I do so with the expectation that I might come under attack, so I only sign into open if I'm in the mood to engage in PvP. On the occasions that I've done a murder, my rule is one and done. It's fun to see ships explode, but I'm not going to escalate to harassment. I've also been on the receiving end of emergent PvP, and it can be rather exciting, and unironically a good way to make friends in the game. Ganky only crosses into griefing IMO if it's persistent or crosses into non-gameplay elements. The one form of PvP I will never partake in is system chat, not even once. As a fun aside, my last fight in open play was against one Commander Tony Curtis, who was sporting a combat-rated Caspian named Capri Sun. I was in a Cobra 5 named Don't Be Serious, and I made a decent fight of it until my engines got shot out and I went careening away at 500 meters a second. Luckily, his Caspian couldn't keep up and I escaped after rebooting my drives.
Nice. Fair enough. Fair enough. Right, buckle up, lads.
Right. This will be a good one.
Buckle up. Homburger's got a lot to say on the matter. I remember way back just before the beginning of Le Voyage de la Lovely Jubbly et de Sesames, I was prepping all my ships I had brought over to Colonia with those newfangled SCO drives, making sure their lightweight hulls were fully reinforced and fully utilising my new Grade 5 lightweighting life support blueprint from Etienne Dawn. Those surprising meat patties tasted a bit off, but I couldn't quite put my finger on why. I was flying my stellar screenshot bedecked Asp Explorer, the El Herrera's request, down to the brig to ask Mel Brandon to engineer her brand new SCO drive when another player in a Viper Mark III heading out the other way sped straight past me. I requested permission from the landing controller and proceeded to manually land my ship on the pad. Only I couldn't. The Viper Mark III had turned around and, as I was almost touching down, was firing a full complement of force push cannons at me. I desperately tried to manoeuvre my ship towards the centre of the pad, but every time I almost managed to settle, the cannons would push me off again. This went on for 15 to 20 seconds or so until my ship exploded. It wasn't until I saw the rebuy screen that I realised I was grinning from ear to ear and had been giggling throughout the entire experience. I rebought the ship, sent a friend request to the aggressor, which they duly accepted, then messaged them wishing I hoped they stepped on a Lego brick barefoot. Insulting your ganker is customary and must not be neglected. It was one of the most engaging moments I've ever had playing Elite Dangerous. Playing as Commander Freya Crescent, I was deep into an early morning shift for the Fuel Rats. A distress call came in from Desiat, and I was the only one to go for it. Yes, Desiat, the galactic mecca for gankers. I did the usual friend request / wing request and managed to drop into Desiat and supercruise to the wing beacon without issue. Turned out to be a ganker who had genuinely run out of fuel. So I sent off some limpets and had some jolly banter before leaving. But I thought I'd then supercruise around the notorious system just to see if I could tag a bloodthirsty killer. Sure enough, within seconds, I was interdicted by none other than a cow for all seasons himself. We circled each other face to face as I tried to refuel him with my limpets while he peppered me with frag cannons from his clipper. I was toast within seconds. I sent a friend request after the rebuy and told him that his mother was a low-ranking Fargod cultist and his father was an Asp scout. A 6 out of 10 score as far as Cow was concerned, which disappointed me somewhat. Though I have no idea what anyone gets out of the practice, I don't see anything wrong with ganking. I've had some really positive experiences being sent to the rebuy screen after a good gank. Sometimes, yes, it can be irritating. Recently, I was hauling in the Rush Fleet's spanking new Panther Clipper Mark II, fully engineered with weapons, grade 6 reinforced shields and 4 fully engineered boosters, but still managed to be destroyed in seconds by a ganker, which was suspicious, as I had confidence that that build ought to have lasted much longer than that, although my knowledge of weapon engineering and experimental combinations is rudimentary at best. So what do I know? Still, it was an inconvenience and a high rebuy cost, so I switched to solo for the remainder of that session. I sent a friend request with a view to ask how they managed to destroy me so quickly, but it was never answered. So there are sociable gankers out there and unsociable ones. I was also ganked a couple of times as Freya Crescent on Titan bombing runs, despite putting out a Yaha me matey in the local chat. She's with the Kumo crew, it's what we do. It's supposed to deter fellow pirate gankers. It rarely works, but Freya announces this anyway. I'm dreadful at ship-to-ship PvP. I suck syphilitic donkey dong at it, but it's still really good fun, even though I'm mostly hopeless. Although, having said that, I still did win the first round of the Fuel Rat Stock Sidewinder derbies. More because the others ignored me and I just picked them off as they weakened each other's defenses. The next round, I was the first to die. I think Phoenix Blue above hits the nail on the head with expectation management. In open, go expecting and prepared for unscheduled PvP, practice escaping or at least making a decent go of it. Make friends, have fun, duck back into solo/PG when you've had enough. Or do what I do sometimes. Tank out an aft scout with loads of shields and hull reinforcements, engineered as much as possible, equip a pair of remote release flak launchers and go hunting for gankers. Once you are interdicted, bedazzle them with fireworks for a while and then try to escape. You will either delight or infuriate them. Either one is a marvellous and fun PvP outcome. Thanks, Homburger!
Excellent, bravo.
Round of applause.
Thanks, pal. That's
Good
great.
attitude
I love the
too.
idea of just shooting them with fireworks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need to
Right, we better quickly move on to
more of
Jay
Homburger's
Fremantle.
attitude.
Yeah, 100% Alec.
Yeah.
When I started playing, I played in open because I thought if I played in solo, I wouldn't be able to switch later. I was doing okay until shortly after upgrading to a Cobra Mark III, so I could haul more goods than my Sidewinder. I got pulled, and my ship exploded 5 seconds later. I had no idea what happened, just assumed I'd made a mistake. After rebuy and filling my cargo again, I set off, and exactly the same thing happened. A little research and asking around, and I discovered about ganking and how solo and open work. So now I play in private or in solo. I will play in open again when I'm ready. I appreciate that Elite gives us... Excuse me. I appreciate that Elite gives these options. As a time-poor commander, getting blown up and losing all my progress for a session is a major blow. So in my view, playing in open is only for people who want to engage in conflict, even if they're hauling or exploring. They've equipped their ship to defend themselves and know how to do it. That's fine. I prefer if people would roleplay conflict more, rather than just blowing someone up instantly because you can. Personally, I can't imagine how that's much fun. It's certainly not a challenge. But people are people. Play in open and enjoy the fight for survival. I'll join you when I'm ready. Side note, I recently flew in open having acquired the Caspian and fitting it with armor and weapons. Flew a few trips before being pulled. Ship blew up after 5 seconds. So I guess I'm not ready for open yet.
Bless.
Nice.
Yeah, there's got to be a part that you've got to have the mental attitude to go into open.
I think so. I think so, and I think I'm with Alec when I think it's a shame.
Well, I've got. All right, go on, Alec.
No, it's right.
Fair enough. Ian, for me, ganking is one aspect of PvP, and as others have said, it is likely a significant disparity in the skill, equipment, enjoyment, etc. Griefing is just repeated ganking. Like many others, my introduction to PvP was brutal, brief, and indecidate, so I retreated to solo/PG. After listening to the Loose Screws podcast for a while, their enthusiasm persuaded me to try open again. Well, it's kind of fun. You can never be entirely sure that everyone you meet is benign, but sometimes and sometimes they're not. When they're not, it's time for you to run or rebuy. Thanks also to Commander DSS Lave, who pulls you and disables your ship, then educates you on what you could have done better. It was very educational. Yeah, again, it's a case of it depends on what you categorize as a win. If you just get away from someone,
Yeah.
you know,
I would say just to say on that last thing about people who interdict and then like give you information about how you fucked it basically and how you fix it out. There are some people who love that and some people who hate it. I've seen some people go, oh, and they tried to educate me what I was doing wrong, and there are some people who really don't like that. So it's another each to their own kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not a fan. Again, if you didn't sign up for that, then it's
Yeah.
like, oh, and I can already hear people saying, "But you did. You entered open." Anyway, sorry. But yeah, if you didn't sign up for that, and it's like, yeah, I didn't want to be. I wasn't trying to be a good PvPer. So
Yeah.
anyway, right. I have the pleasure of reading Sir Oberon's final missive. So, Sir Oberon opens door, looks at the mountain of posts. I think this is going to take the Lave Radio crew all night to do what they used to do all night. To be honest, I have a lot to say on this subject. I know, what a fucking surprise. But actually, nothing that hasn't already been said. Nice one, you wonderful people. You've saved me a job and, by extension, saved your own sanity and eardrums in the process. But I do want to add one small comment. Hey, don't moan. You were spared the pain last week. Post note, it didn't end up being a small comment after all. Whoops. Sorry, Psychic. My comment doesn't actually address your questions. The community here have already done a wonderful job of that, and I would just be an echo chamber to a lot of their comments. So I'm going to approach the contentious subject from a different angle tonight. I do honestly think the whole PvP subject has, at least in the past, got a terrible rep from the wider community as a whole. From certain corners of the community, there was a campaign of only playing in PG or solo because ganking was a huge issue. Nowhere was safe. Whole gaming groups would not come out of PG in fear of meeting these griefers. This, in my personal opinion, actually has lessened the experience of the wider game for many, both for those who play in open and those who won't other delete as applicable. To start with, I'm not going to tell anyone how to play the game or that anyone plays it wrong. I've always said, you do you. In the 9 years of playing, I've rarely flown in PG or solo. I've been ganked, I've been griefed, but the percentage of PvP interaction I've had in that time that I could say served no real in-game purpose, except for the amusement of the hostile player sending me to the rebear screen, was possibly less, way less, than 1 in 10 times. Outside hotspots for gankers, most player interaction I've had has been either RP based or just two pilots being wary of each other. Personally, I believe, IMO, that the fear of ganking is greater than the risk of ganking in the game. This fear has led to the game being emptier of players than it otherwise could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a good point. I remember all the arguments that they used to have when the game was being created in the DDF about, oh no, you need a PvP flag or things like
Yeah.
that, and all that kind of stuff that goes with it. And yeah, I mean, all you can do is you can make the suggestions, but is there a game and they chose how to implement this?
That stuff is difficult. Am I right
Yeah.
in thinking that Frontier put notoriety in as an attempt as a sort of anti-griefing measure? I feel like they did.
I feel like they did, yeah.
Yeah. However, notoriety may be in there, but without the ability to track down players who are notoriety. I can't even bloody say it.
Notorious.
That's the one.
I thought I'd help you out there, Colin.
Yeah, I'd gone full arc right then. Right. So yeah, without that ability for other players to track down the bad uns, then yeah, there was no. Well, okay, I've got to stay away from stations for 2 hours. Oh, yeah.
Loose Screws made a really funny comment last week or the week before. You know, the sort of thing is normally, are you going to be banned to solo? But they suddenly realised it's much funnier to ban someone to open. You've been banned to open. You literally can't escape in your fair game, you know, and you've got a big target on your back, and there's no escape. I think that's quite funny. I think griefers should be banned to open.
And then
Forced to play an open only with a big like target sign on their back, going just shoot here and they'll explode.
That's what I've
Yeah.
always wanted. You know, actually, when you're in the galaxy map, you have a little eye. You know, you got a little green icon showing where all your friends are.
Yeah.
What I wanted was a little red icon to show you where all the griefers are that with more than one or more notoriety, and you can go there and try and bounty hunt them.
Yeah, be quite fun.
But yeah. Anyway, thank you everybody who answered that question with your essays and.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. I would say take a look next week for a thing. I'm right in saying what I've just put in that I've got in any other business, right? We discussed this last week before I go.
Yes. Yeah, we did.
Okay, good. But yeah, keep an eye out. Keep an eye out on our socials for stuff.
Yeah. Any other business? Well, there's no show next week because we're all going to go off on a hike across the rainforest of the planet Lave.
We hear it's great.
The point out for drop bears.
Yeah,
I think
those
someone's
two.
flushing the toilet in the background. Yes, and Claire.
Hey, commanders! Keep an eye out on socials this weekend. Around the time where Chris Mark, I'm hoping. God, I'm hoping I've got this done by then. I'm giving myself a deadline now. Around the time, normally when we do the question of the week is around the time Chris Mark Ford does an amazing show on Black Diamond FM. You can listen to it from anywhere. I realised I hadn't got that in yet, and I needed to, and it's excellent, and it's Chris. So go and listen to him between 12 and 2 UK time, and listen to his amazing show. Anyway. Much further in the future is Game Blast. Game Blast is the weekend where we all raise money for Special Effect because Special Effect are amazing and wonderful. Game Blast weekend is the 27th to the 1st of March. All through February, there will be Game Blast activities going on. However, Lave is doing Game Blast. When I try and figure out what we do, we've done a shit ton of really fun recreations of TV quiz shows, and this year is no different. This year we are doing Family Fortunes or Family Feud if you're stateside. I am currently looking for the opposite team to Lave. I am reaching out to various people, and it will either be on the Friday or the Saturday. Once I've spoken to the boys as well here. However, this weekend we need our survey people. We need people answering surveys, otherwise there's nothing to happen with it. So you will see a Google form everywhere that we will pimp out constantly for the answers to the Family Feud questions, which you can help and submit with the Family Fortune / Family Feud questions. And they are all Elite Dangerous related. It is specifically Elite Dangerous stuff. So with that in mind, keep an eye out on our socials because even though there is no question of the week coming on Sunday, you will have homework.
It must be said, unless Frontier drops something in the next couple of days, then...
Nah, we'll just cover it the week after, mate. It's fine. We're not going to be streaming. We're not here on Tuesday. Well, I'm not going to be here. And I know Alec isn't, so it'll be you and Ben talking about it.
Yeah.
Fair enough, it's an emergency, right. Our shout-outs. Our sister station, Hutton Orbital Radio, broadcasts on a Thursday from 8:30. Tune in at twitch.tv/Hutton Orbital Truckers, or if you just want the audio, go to radio.forthemug.com. For the discerning commander that likes a bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. We also give shout-outs to the other Elite Dangerous podcasts. So that's the Guard Frequency, who do other space games as well. The wonderful Loose Screws. We also have the Distant World podcast, which goes out once every couple of weeks. And also, If You Speak French.
Thank you. I just let the funky music do the talking.
Yes, there's the Elite Dangerous podcast, who also do those wonderful missions as well. Following this, we have the latest Galnet Digest, as provided by Commander Witherspoon and Commander Beetlejude, who does the most fantastic sigh at the end of our last one, which I thought was fantastic.
Yeah.
And thanks to all the commanders who have chipped in at the Twitch chat and the in-game commanders. Who have we got? We've got Shadows 13, Siberius, Harathon, and Soccer 42. Ben's had Flossie Wrong Way and DJ Wiley. join them on the fleet call. So, special thanks, of course, go to Commander Tokuso, Jay Antrax, and Ellen Stroud, who have all created music that we use in the show. And that's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can find all the contact links in the world and home/contact us on the laveradio.com website. And we love getting your feedback on Spotify. So leave a review, like and subscribe, do all the usual stuff, make us look good. Please the algorithm, feed the algorithm. Do let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. So, thanks to Claire.
Thank you. Catch you later, everyone.
Thanks to Alec.
Thanks, Colin. See you in 2 weeks.
See you. Thanks to Ben.
Thanks, Colin.
Oh, God.
A special thanks, of course, goes to today's tech specialist and waiver out of Windows. That would be the Chris Mark IV.
You're welcome.
So until next time, Commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this? Sounds like someone having an orange inserted into them. You need a safe word.
Space can be low.
I'm gonna see the galaxy.
Damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Update, 27th of January, 3312.
Shocking scenes have emerged of shoddy building work by Brewer Corporation on a recently completed asteroid base. Ham City, in Call 285 sector CY-N B21-8, is a lengthy supercruise from the jumping point, but that's no excuse for poor workmanship, according to system architect Commander Bagpiper. Construction workers employed by Brewer failed to complete the groundworks properly before they started building this icy base, leaving several large asteroids in the immediate vicinity of the toast rack. That's dangerous enough, but it's worse than that inside. Brewer has built the station around 2 huge spinning asteroids that totally block landing pad 40 and make approaching pads 37 and 45 extremely hazardous. The station has been described by the Orbital Traffic Controllers Union as a danger to shipping, following a string of incidents resulting in the loss of ships and their cargo. Galnet News Digest witnessed 2 ships, a Type 9 and a Type 7, being crushed by the inexorable power of these oversized ice cubes, with a little helping hand from the station defences, for whom a huge block of ice covering the landing pad is no excuse for loitering. It's bad enough during the present commissioning stage. Just think how deadly landing at Ham City will get on Thursday, when the station spun up to create artificial gravity. It'll be like cinder blocks in a washing machine. Brewer has not acknowledged its mistake and does not appear to be taking any steps to remove the asteroids from inside or outside the station. Commander Bagpiper is investigating whether the asteroids inside the base could be disposed of using a seismic charge launcher, but station administrators have been less than cooperative. Bagpiper remains hopeful that Brewer won't be glacially slow in coming up with a solution.
Having spent the weekend at the Monde de la Mort, the World of Death, in Spoi High XE-X D2-9, the Distant Worlds 3 expedition is moving on to an historic system on the other side of the galaxy. The presence of expedition fleet carriers in the system afforded many expedition members the luxury of a relatively risk-free visit to the planet of death. The Monde de la Mort, a fairly small, metal-rich planet, follows an elliptical orbit around a white dwarf star, passing through the jet cones well inside the star's exclusion zone. Ships have roughly 15 minutes in every 75-minute orbit where they can safely land on the planet, and ships must then be dismissed to avoid being ripped apart by the terrible radiation that saturates the planet at its periapsis, just 0.06 light seconds from the star. That's not much more than the distance between Great Britain and New Zealand. Nothing should be able to survive in the potent mix of thermal, ultraviolet and X-ray radiation blasting the surface of the world of death. But it turns out that SRVs are tougher than they seem, and Artemis suits have excellent radiation shielding, making a really close-up observation of the surface of the white dwarf possible. Turns out they're white, with a little bit of an ultraviolet tinge. Now, the expedition fleet carriers are heading for a much less remarkable system that holds historic interest as the site of an early meet-up between two pioneering explorers, Commander R4 Anger Zero in his Deep Space Sidewinder and Commander Cam Zell, the discoverer of Beagle Point, on 16th of February 3301, less than 8 weeks after the modern frameshift drive had been made generally available, and before route plotting had been invented. These were two of the earliest pioneers of deep space travel, and their meeting at what has become known as Rendezvous Point nearly 11 years ago is worth recognising. On a more practical level, the system has icy planetary rings that look like they might be perfect for mining tritium to refuel 4 carriers that have travelled halfway across the galaxy, following which all the expedition's ships will be expected to undock from the carriers and travel to another, as yet unannounced waypoint on the Galactic Mystery Tour.